James is asking me here, how accurate is the weight scales in UFC? 0.5 pounds, half a pound. Seems there's a lot of room for speculation and debate, especially if you're going to lose 30% of your purse. Yeah, was it 30% for where they're at? Was that Arizona? It depends on the state. Sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's whatever. The scale's accurate. The scale's pretty accurate. And there's usually a UFC scale that's accurate there too that you can check on. But you should have at least one of your own scales. I always travel with the scale. And sometimes if I show up and I don't have a scale, or if my scale broke, sometimes it's happened, I go to the store and I buy a new one. It's right off. I get a new scale, and I make sure that I know what my scale is compared to the house scale that we can use. So I have some kind of comparability. That happens early. That way, if at any point in time something happens to the fighter scale that people get to use, because they don't use the actual weigh-in scale for the commission. The commission has their own scale. They bring that in only on weigh-in day. The other scale is UFC scale. They weigh it, they calibrate it, they set it so it's zeroed out, and they set it and leave it there. If anybody notices something with it, they can call and try to get it rescheduled, recalibrated. That could take time. So best thing to do is you get there while it's guaranteed to be calibrated. A lot of times, especially for the UFC, when you show up and check in, at least every time I fought there, when you showed up and checked in before you got your hotel and everything, you stepped on the scale and they checked your weight then. So you got to weigh on their official, their unofficial calibrated scale. And from there, you need to check with your scale. And then you can kind of ratio. Okay, well, my scale is half a pound over. Okay. And I weigh it right there. And then I go upstairs. And as soon as I get into my room, I weigh myself again, because I want to make sure that the gravity or whatever didn't change the scale from the first floor up to like the 19th floor or whatever. I want to make sure. I don't know, if I'm up higher, it might pull me down harder. So I got to double check. So I got to know when I'm checking my scale, like where I'm at. So that way I can set and engage early on, and I'm checking it all the time. Like I'm backpacking and carrying my scale. Every time I go to check, I have my scale and I check next to it to make sure I have a really good understanding of where my weight is and how much I have to lose. And what I'll do is I focused on the number that I have to lose rather than what the scale tells me I weigh. Does that make sense? If I weigh in first day and I see on all my scales, like, oh, I have 5 pounds to lose on this scale, and I have 5.2 pounds to lose on my scale. Okay, I know that. If I come back and weigh on the thing and it's like, it's different, I was like, I know I still have to lose at least 5.2 pounds. Let's not screw around and kid ourselves, right? It's like, oh, well, it only says I'm 3 over now. So nope, you still got to do it. And we've been in that situation in the sauna, in the cutting place, you know. The scale's iffy. Our scale's iffy. It's not a great scale. And sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. They're not the, best scales. Sometimes they break and sometimes they misread. We have to make sure we're on weight, and we will put in extra time in the sauna just to be careful. Like, oh man, I'm right on. Crazy Bob looking at me like, okay, let's do another 30 minutes just to be safe. You'll go back, lose whatever else you can, go back to the place, try to check in, whatever, and then start losing. And the morning weigh-ins make it a lot easier too, because you can get in there, you can check, sip on your waters to make sure you're as close or right on as possible. But yeah, those guys need my book. They need the Weight Cut Bible. They needed it.